Too bad. Whoever missed the first
Yeah.
part, this is part two.
Oh.
So why the oil? Why the oil? Why the miracle of the oil? So explain to the backdrop how it came to be. But why did Hashem kind of decided that the miracle should be expressed in the oil lasting 8 days? So the word in Kabbalah, oil, is shemen. Shemen means oil. Oil is actually connected to chachma. Chachma is the first level of intellect. What's the second level after we have chachma, when you have the idea? Second level is bina, right? What's bina? Bina is the articulation, is to take apart the idea and bring it more and develop the idea, right? We said that also in the birth of a child, the seed is chachma, it has a potential for the child. And the mother's womb is bina, that develops the seed, and that gives birth to the emotions, to das, and all the emotions on. Oil in Kabbalah is connected to chachma. What is chachma? The Hebrew word chachma. When you need to develop, you need to come up with a new idea. When you need to develop a new idea, you're thinking of an idea, right? What's the first step in trying to find a new idea? It's interesting. It's actually to close down, to limit your brain. You want to kind of close down for a moment and make space for a new idea. If you're thinking too much of different details, and within the details you're trying to generate a birth of a new idea, not going to happen, because your ego is in the way. You need to submit. You need to kind of close down, shut down your brain, and then allow something new to flow inside of you. And that's when you say people have to go out and think, meditate, or think to come up with a new idea. Did you ever think of good ideas that come up like in a quiet walk? They come up within a quiet moment. Most times, those are the best times when new ideas come up. Not when you're like in a gas station or in a train. That's not when you come up with grandiose ideas. The word, that's the power of chachma. Chachma is actually the birth of something from nothing. It's the power that Hashem has given each of us, just like Hashem created the world ex nihilo, something from nothing. We have the power to create something from nothing, but there has to be first the nothingness. What's the nothingness? Reduce yourself. Become less of yourself. Don't allow the ego. That's why people who want to have new ideas and they come with their preconceived ideas, it's hard for them to talk to them. It's hard for them to be open to new ideas. So in essence, chachma, the Hebrew word for chachma, has two words, koach ma. It has the letter koach, which means energy, strength. Koach means strength, something. Ma in Hebrew means what, like ma nishtana, what is tonight, right? Ma means what. Koach ma, chachma is, in Kabbalah, what is it? What is that strength? I need to create something from nothing. So I need to be able to ask ma, what is it? Only if I have put myself aside, I can now objectively come and say, what is this? Let me learn something new. Let me create something new. So in essence, chachma is connected to bitul. What's bitul? Bitul means nullification. Here comes the Zohar and says, oil, how do you make oil? By crushing the olive. Oil comes out of crushing something, out of diminishing something. You're crushing an olive and you think you're getting rid of the olive, right? You're destroying the olive in a sense, but that's when the oil comes out. And the more crushing, the more oil will come out. So that is why oil is considered chachma. It's interesting, right? That they say that olive oil helps your brain, right? Olive oil, general oil is good for your brain. Fish oil. The Zohar says that oil, we see in Torah over and over. For example, the son of Asher, the son of Yaakov, Asher. Yaakov gives him the blessing of olive tree, like oil, to wisdom. It's all the same idea. He used to smear olive oil on the bread, for young kids to brighten their minds. But oil has other qualities. And the other quality is that it penetrates. Oil penetrates everything, right? You put oil on a piece of wood, penetrates into the wood. So when you have a powerful idea that comes out of Hashem's reality, doesn't come from your ego because you crushed yourself. Crushing is not a bad thing. Crushing means you have crushed your ego, so your neshama could be on fire. These ideas will actually penetrate. These ideas will sit and seep into every fiber of your being. And now you can develop that idea and bring them into Bina. And the Kabbalah says Bina was the menorah. The menorah was the 7 branches, the candelabra. That was the expression, the details, the articulation that we're able to take chachma. And what type of chachma? Here comes, right? Chachma, wisdom, was a fight of a wisdom. Greek wisdom or Torah wisdom. Greek wisdom is ego wisdom. It's not real chachma. It's fake chachma. It's fake news. It's only fueling the ego. And it destroys each other. It destroys the fiber of who we are. There is no continuation like that. And they understood and they contaminated. You want to have oil of chachma? We're going to bring the oil of tuma, the oil of klippa, chachma of klippa, because chachma can go both ways. You can bring chachma into klippa, chachma kedusha, as we learn in Tanya. And we are going to light the menorah with that and shine it bright. Hashem made a miracle because when you are dedicated and connected to Hashem, that chachma of holiness surpasses the laws of nature, and it can last 8 days. Not a big deal. And that's why the lit the menorah, and that's why it has the power to transform any darkness. And that's why the mitzvah of Chanukah is specifically focused on the menorah more over the big army miracle. We asked on Shabbos, we talked about Shabbos, why do we make a big deal of the war? It's a huge war between a superpower and 5-6 Jews who didn't have an army. We don't talk about it much. We just mentioned it in the prayer, but we don't make a big deal on Hanukkah. We make a big deal about the oil. It's like in the 6-day war. Imagine after in the 6-day war, they find out that in the Knesset, one room was lit for 8 days. There was no power there, and it was a miracle that one room lit for 8 days. Just example, right? And then for the rest of history, we don't talk about the 6-day war that Israel was the underdog against Syria, Jordan, Egypt. Right? We're celebrating the Knesset, the one room that had light for 8 days. Why are we so obsessed of the menorah miracle, not of the miracle of the war? And it's interesting is, if you think about it, a war that's won, it's a miracle, but it's not something that you can really, it doesn't really resonate today, right? Doesn't really resonate. It's a nice historical, it will be more of a historical holiday, not a holiday that resonates today. The miracle of the oil, the menorah, was the underlining foundational war. And that is timeless. That's the eternal light of Hashem, the eternal chachma of Hashem, chachma of Torah. And that is so eternal. That's when we light the menorah, it talks to our neshama. It's about me. We were passed down this flame. So that's why the oil is we are so powerful, and it's it's such a strong message. When you light your own candle, the previous Rebbe used to say, when you light the menorah candle, you should sit and you should listen to the flames. What story are the flames telling us? I always find that so fascinating. Listening to the flames. Who listens to flames? But we are obsessed with lighting candles Friday night, Motzei Shabbat, Hanukkah. But we don't listen. We cover actually our eyes on Shabbat. But in Hanukkah, there's a story. Because it's a story of our existence, the story of our neshama. If we understand it even deeper as Chachma, and then into Bina, the menorah, then we can express that, take the great ideas of Hashem, bring it and make it personal. It's not about a detachment between something that is transcendence and us, but to engage that, and translate that, transform that, then you have a very strong menorah. We'll just wrap up with one more point. The numeric value. Let's see where I have this here. How many candles do we light? If we first night was 1, tonight is 2, right? 3, 4. So if you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, it totals 36. So 36 candles throughout Hanukkah. The Hebrew word for light is or. If you look at the Torah, God says, let there be light, right? Vayhi or, and there was light. So the first time the word or is mentioned in the Torah, if you count in the Hebrew, the Chumash, 36th word of the Torah is the word or. Okay, so 36 is the amount of candles that we light on Hanukkah. The Hebrew word for or is mentioned as the 36th word from beginning. Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Continue the verses, count it, open up the Chumash. The 36th word is or, is light. There was a rabbi in about 4 or 5 years ago. He was like the early Google. He calculated in the Torah numbers, and he did the whole thing. And so he has a lot of it's a very fascinating code, so to speak, because you see a lot of hidden codes. Okay, how many times in the Torah, in the whole Torah, Tanakh, the whole Torah, the 5 books of Moshe, is the word or mentioned? The word light is mentioned. Take a guess.
36.
36 times. 36 times. And in the Zohar, the number 36 refers to what? The idea of hiddenness, secrets. That's why Hashem has placed in the world 36 hidden tzaddikim, called Lamavavnik. Right? The 36 hidden tzaddikim in every generation. Second. Okay, I think I made a quick mistake. Take it back. Not the 36th word of Torah is or. 36 times in Torah the word or is mentioned. The Chanukah light we light on the 25th of Kislev, right? By the way, Chanukah, the word Chanukah, what does it mean? The word Chanukah is 2 words in Hebrew together. Chanu comes from the word dedication. Dedication, they rededicated the temple. Or education, chinuch, same idea. It's about chinuch, it's about chachma. It's the ches there, right? And chanu, ches nun vav is first part of the word, and then ka. Ka is chaf is 20, and hey is 5, 25. When did they rededicate the temple? On the 25th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev. So today is the 25th of Kislev, started last night. So the 25th word of the Torah is the word or. That was, I made a mistake. I looked in the notes. 25th. Now I'm going to actually confirm this because I don't want to be wrong. And I'm going to open up the Chumash quick. I can count to 25 really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He or. First, it's in verse 3 of the Torah. Third verse, 25 words into the Torah. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, but 36 times is mentioned in the Torah, the word or. And 25th word for Chanukah. So we have all those great stuff together. Enjoy your menorah, enjoy your Chanukah, enjoy the dreidel. There's so much Kabbalah in Chanukah, so much. Go listen. Go on Kabbalah.org, has many essays. There's the Kabbalah of the dreidel. Each side of the dreidel, each letter of the dreidel has another meaning. I know we are very busy Hanukkah with the parties, but we need to also take time to learn and study the Hanukkah, so it becomes much more a deeper connection, miracle. So you have 8 days to study. 8 days. It's exciting. I'll try to post stuff that I find fascinating, interesting. You know, Rabbi Jacobson has like 8 meditations for Hanukkah, and every day is great videos. Go there. They're just amazing stuff. So yes, Bella.
Can you put that what you put on the screen, the prayer? Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Yes, I'll put it in the chat.
On both languages.
In Russian and English. Agree. It's funny. Good. Leona, I love seeing your menorah on in the screen. Beautiful. Everyone light your menorahs, and if you're around tomorrow, we have our parade at 4 o'clock, and we'll be in Northport at 5 Thursday. And with Shabbos, Friday night, we're doing a special Friday night service for Hanukkah at 5 o'clock in Shul. We're lighting up beautiful big menorah. We'd love to see you, of course. Have a great Hanukkah. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All the best.
Happy Hanukkah to everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Happy Hanukkah.